Good evening, my name is Garrett, and welcome to The Last Call. Tonight's final drink is from Old Forester. This is their Kentucky Straight Rye Whiskey, single barrel, barrel proof, coming in at a 65.15% ABV. Now, I did not ever expect to find one of these on the shelf, especially at the price I picked it up at. I've never seen one here in Indiana, so the moment I saw it, I knew I had to grab it. Not necessarily for me, but for a friend of the family that is a huge Old Forester fan. So the tax is, I'm going to review it today. So he doesn't get a choice in that. But I've had some Old Forester from time to time, and I think they do a really good job. I've not had anything on their rye side of things, which really excites me. Now, looking around, we do know a mash bill, which is 65% rye, 15% corn, and 20% malted barley. So this is actually coming from warehouse I, floor 3. Now, as single barrels go, every barrel is going to have a slight variance to it. So, this is going to give you an idea of what to expect, but not necessarily be the be-all, end-all for all single barrel proofs they're doing. So, let's jump into the bottle itself and see how things go. That color. I'm excited. I am beyond excited. Anyway, as always, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, hang around for a bit, become a member if you'd like. If you're interested in some Old Forester reviews that I've done, they'll be linked up above and down below. I've done a few. I was lucky enough to pick up one of their birthday bourbons and a few other bottles on their more rarer side of things. I'm still trying to get one of the King's Ranch bottles that was like a Texas exclusive. Can't get one up here yet. We will also be doing a A/B comparison between this and some other barrel-proof rye, so hang around for those videos too. Beautiful dark color. That is dark mahogany. That is rich and dark. Gorgeous. I can't even see through that. Alrighty, let's go for notes. Ooh, that is dark and oily. Char characteristic is beautiful in that. A lot of rye spiciness going on. You're getting that kind of rye, just raw grain breads going on. Baking spices are beautiful in here. A little cinnamon as well. Nice light bit of fruitiness in here. A little apple, almost like a green apple sweetness. Very tannic, very oaky, dark and heavy on the nose. Oh man, do not take a big whiff of this one. That will take you for a ride. That is beautiful on the nose. Nice corn dustiness in there too, almost buttery sweet corn, that's been out on the grill. A little pepperiness in here, freshly cracked black peppercorns. But overall, beautiful nose on there. I was expecting the rye for being 65% to be a little more present, but the deep oakiness and char layers are really what's taking a hold here. Let's find out on the taste on how it is. Yeah, that'll do. Deep, rich oakiness just coats the palate. The rye spiciness is coming through, and just a little bit. I really expected that rye to be a little more punchy on there, especially, again, for that higher rye mash bill. You're still getting a lot of spiciness, that baking spice is showing up, and I'm definitely getting some of that green apple, kind of the skin specifically of a green apple in there. Love that charred tannin oakiness in there. I love a good oaky whiskey, and this is hitting that mark pretty darn well. Second sip here, getting just a tad bit of a black tea note, a oversteeped black tea, just a little bit. Beautiful vanilla notes, almost vanilla bean paste going on. Coats the palate, tingles the tongue a little bit, and a little bit of that Kentucky hug, but again, being that it's 65%, not surprising on that sip. This was a really good, honestly, for that high of rye mash bill, this is a good barrel-proof rye for somebody that's maybe not big into rye whiskey, but you're more on that bourbon side of things, and you snag one of these, I think you're going to still really enjoy this one. A little bit of cherry going on that sip, almost like cherry syrup. Beautiful baking spices are still showing up. That cracked black peppercorns there. I love how dark, rich, and oily this one is. It coats the palate and it just clings on for dear life because that is rich. It's definitely not one that I would want a huge dram of, but definitely I would highly recommend taking a sip of that. I think it's approachable. It's not overly hot for 65%, but this is definitely a rye built for a bourbon drinker. Got a lot of your classic bourbon notes going on in here with that kick up of the rye spiciness, the buttery sweet corn showing up on there. And a big thing here is you gotta like an oaky whiskey. I like that a lot. Alrighty. Pretty short and sweet on today's video. So let's talk about a grade for this one. So typical pricing on this is like $89, $90 range, give or take from that point. That's how much I paid for it. Paid $89. Secondary pricing on this obviously is double that. Easily $150 to $160. And you know what? I give it a B-. I think it's a really good pour. For me personally, I was hoping that rye was going to show up more on the taste, being that it's that high of rye mash bill, but also because it's a rye whiskey. For me, I think it's definitely a great pour that, I'm happy to be able to experience. Would I want a bottle of this on the shelf if I got it for the right price? Yeah, I think so. I think on that $90-ish price point, it's definitely a bottle you could sit down with some friends, everybody get a small pour of that, really kick things up, and just enjoy it, because that is definitely one of the best examples of a rye for a bourbon drinker, especially at that proof point. Big thumbs up on this one. So yeah, there you have it, folks. Old Forester Kentucky Straight Rye Whiskey, single barrel, barrel proof. If you have any questions about the bottle itself, let me know down in the comment section below. I will do my best to answer it. And if you have any specific spirits I should go looking for, also let me know down below. Love doing these reviews and sharing with you the experience at home. And as always, may your last drink of the night be the best one.
And I even like it might